Good morning. Hi, Storytime friends. Thanks for coming to online Storytime with me. I'm Miss Sira from the Red Bank Public Library. And all week I've been reading stories with important lessons. We've read stories about peace and about acceptance and about loving yourself. We read stories about welcoming people. And today we're going to read stories about friendship. So I think that would be good. Oh, we read stories about feelings. That was important too. So today we're just going to sing a good morning song and welcome everybody here. And it goes like this. This is the way we say hello, say hello, say hello. This is the way we say hello so early in the morning. And this is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands so early in the morning. And this is the way we stomp our feet, stomp our feet, stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet so early in the morning. I think we're going to stop it right there because I have two good books for us today. And the first one is actually a Pete the Cat book. All right, I really like Pete the Cat. You know that already. They're good stories and they do have good lessons. And they're pretty fun. Pete is too cool. So here we go. This one's called Pete the Cat and the New Guy. It's by Kimberly and James Dean. Some of these stories I might have read to you before, but when you have a good story, you can read it as many times as you want. And this is a good one for today. It says, it was Sunday, and Pete's friends had come to play. They were rocking to a new song. Beep, 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 beep. There was a noise coming from across the street. Wise old Owl had a view from his tree. Pete said, "Hey, Owl, what do you see?" Owl said, "All I see are green shoes and a red hat." Pete answered, "Sounds like my kind of cat." Pete could not imagine who this new guy could be. I really hope it's a new friend for me. On Monday, Pete wanted to say hi, but he was feeling kind of shy. So he just rode by and by and by. There he is on his skateboard. Until finally Pete got to meet the new guy. Pete said, "I've never met anyone quite like you. You look like a duck and like a beaver too." The new guy said to Pete, "Hi, my name's Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus." Pete said, "You're not like me and I'm not like you, but I think being different is really very cool." On Tuesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street and they came to Squirrel. He looks so tiny right here. To Squirrel, who was playing in a tree. "Hi, Gus," said Squirrel. "Climbing is easy. Try it and see." Gus gave the tree a try, but the branch was way too high. "I wish I could climb like you, but climbing is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Hey, don't be sad, don't be blue. There's something everybody can do." On Wednesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Pete's friend, Grumpy Toad, who said, "Come play leapfrog with me. Jumping is easy. Try it and see." Well, Gus jumped and leaped, but he couldn't get over Toad or Pete. "I wish I could jump like you, but jumping is something I just can't do." He's looking kind of sad. Pete said, "Don't be sad. Don't be blue. There's something everybody can do." On Thursday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street and soon they saw Octopus, who said, "Come juggle with me. Juggling is easy. Try it and see." Look at that. Oh, I wish I could juggle like you, but juggling is something I just can't do. Pete said, don't be sad, don't be blue, there's something everybody can do. On Friday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Gus said, I can't juggle or jump or climb a tree. It's no fun around here for me. On Saturday, Pete hoped Gus would come out to play. I wish Gus wasn't sad. I wish Gus wasn't blue. I wish there was something that we could do. And just then, Pete heard a groovy sound. It was coming from across the street. Gus was rocking to his own beat. Sweet. Look at that. Pete said, check it out. Gus the platypus found something cool he can do with us. Look at that. They all have different instruments, but they're all playing together and making great music. They just had to figure out something that they could all do because everybody's different, right? But I think they all made friends. And that's a good ending to that story. Hey, thanks for listening to that one. So I have a song about friends, and it goes like this. Let's see. You are the friend that I see. If you're my friend, then wave to me. Are you waving? Stand up, turn around, take a bow, good. Wave to me and sit back down. How was that? Did you decide to be my friend now? Because I'm going to sing it one more time. You are the friend that I see. If you're my friend, then wave to me. Hi, stand up, turn around, take a bow, and wave to me and sit back down. Yay! I consider you guys my friends, everybody that comes to online story time. And I have another story about making friends. This one's called Thank You, Omu. And this is an award-winning book. It's a Caldecott Honor book and a John Steptoe New Talent Coretta Scott King Award book. That means it's good. So we're going to read it. The author is Oge Mora. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. It has cool illustrations too. Those are the pictures. It's nice artwork. So it says, on the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Alma was cooking thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste. What a delicious stew, Alma said. Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I've ever had. With that, Alma put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door and down the hall and towards the street and around the block until... Knock, 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 knock. Someone was at the door. When she opened the door, she saw a little boy. Little boy, Alma explained. What brings you to my house? I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell, the little boy replied. What is it? Thick red stew. Stew, he sighed. That sure sounds yummy. Omu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It wouldn't hurt to share. Would you like some? The little boy nodded. And so Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot in her nice evening meal, for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the little boy said, and went on his way. Doesn't she look like a nice old lady? She just has a nice face. With that, Omu closed the door and went back to her book, and as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door and down the hall and towards the street and around the block until someone was at the door. When she opened the door, this time she saw a police officer. "Miss Police Officer," she exclaimed, "what brings you to my house?" "I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell," Miss Police Officer replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ah, stew," she said, and her mouth watered. "That sounds mighty tasty." Omu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. "Would you like some?" The police officer nodded. Once again, Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Omu," the officer said, and she went on her way. And so, for the second time, Omu closed the door and went back to her book. And sure enough, as she read, the scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door and down the hall and towards the street and around the block until... Again, someone was at her door. This time, when she opened it, she saw a hot dog vendor. "Mr. Hot Dog Vendor," she exclaimed, "what brings you to my house?" "I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell," he said. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ooh, stew," he said, and he licked his lips. "That sounds delectable." So, Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Omu," the hot dog vendor said, and went on his way. You see what's happening here, right? Throughout the day, the people from all across the neighborhood knocked on her door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by. Wow, wow, wow. And each time they knocked, Omu shared. Soon the sky darkened and the streetlights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Omu opened her big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, it was empty. Look, she looks sad. Omu sniffled. "There goes the best meal I ever had." Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until... Knock, 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 knock. Who could that be? She wondered. And when she opened the door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. "I'm sorry, everyone," she sighed, "but my thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share." The little boy tugged at Omu's sleeve. "Don't worry, Omu. We're not here to ask. We're here to give." The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought delectable sweet treats. And even the little boy presented Omu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on her door that day squeezed inside of her tiny apartment, and together they ate and danced and celebrated. While Omo's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love. Here's the last page. It says that dinner was the best she ever had. And this is what the little boy gave her in the red envelope. It's a homemade thank you note that says, "Thank you, Omo." Boy, she made so many friends that day by sharing and caring for them. So making friends and making friends with people that are different than you is just a great idea, and it's something that we all should do. And when you do that, it's fun to play with your friends, right? So we're going to sing a song now, something that would be fun to do with some friends. It's called Follow Me. Ready? I better take my glasses off.
Follow me, it's as easy as can be. Follow me, 1, 2, 3, clap your hands.
1, 2, 3.
Spin around,
You guys.
bend your knees, touch the ground.
Okay, I could do that.
Follow me, it's as easy as can be. Follow me, 1, 2, 3, wiggle your fingers,
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
tippy toe, stretch up high,
Oh!
wave hello.
Hello.
Follow me, it's as easy as can be. Follow me, 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Flap your arms,
Flap your arms.
stomp your feet,
Stomp, 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 stomp.
pat your back,
Pat your back, because we're done.
take a seat.
Take a seat. Good job, guys. We're just going to do one song today because I read some long stories, but I hope that you listened and I hope you got a good message from them, and I hope you enjoy your day together. And I want to let you know that I'm working on a program, a family story time about race and diversity. And so keep your eye out for information about that. It might be a series of weekly story times for a little older kids. So I hope that you'll participate in those too. All right, for now, I'll say goodbye and we'll see you later.